Why Stories? A look at the power of writing. Hi, I'm Taylor Ghost. Why do we read? One of my favorite things to do as a young girl was to curl up in a nook of the roots in a tree in our front yard. I would lay there for hours devouring books until my mom would call me inside. I loved books that were over my head, such as Jane Eyre and Sense and Sensibility. Like my classmates, though, I also read shorter mystery novels, but something about the classics had and still has my attention. The reason is this: lasting fiction teaches you about the depth of human character, exposes you to empathy, and reveals love in all its forms. Here I am years later reading poetry too. We recently read Those Winter Sundays by Robert Hayden. It is a short poem, but it speaks volumes about resilience and doing what is right. Sundays, too, my father got up early and put his clothes on in the blue-black cold. Then, with cracked hands that ached from labor in the weekday weather, made banked fires blaze. No one ever thanked him. Isn't that so poignant? And doesn't it reveal the strength involved in caring for a household day by day, week by week? Similar, too, is the theme of Digging by Seamus Heaney. The cold smell of potato mold, the squelch and slap of soggy peat, the curt cuts of an edge, through living roots awaken men like them. Between my finger and thumb, the squat pen rests. I'll dig with it. The author expresses in those last two lines the way in which he will carry on the hard-working ethics of the generations of men that came before him. He's respectful of their legacy. These two examples of poetry are what I would consider lasting writing because they are applicable in any era and teach us about the depth of human character. Good character, as well as empathy, are treasured in Jane Austen's Sense and Sensibility. The two main characters, Eleanor and Marianne, are held in contrast to one another with how they approach or deal with life and love. Time reveals, however, that both are more similar than they imagined, and that regardless, there is much to learn from one another. As readers of fiction like this, it can be derived that we also have much to learn from those that are different from us. Reading helps illustrate values we might not otherwise be taught about. Here is a quote from the novel when Marianne learns her sister's stoic facade is the only way she knows to cope with her broken heart, instead of being representative of her true feelings. What do you know of my heart? What do you know of anything but your own suffering? For weeks, Marianne, I've had this pressing on me without being at liberty to speak of it to a single creature. It was forced on me by the very person whose prior claims ruined all my hope. I have endured her exultations again and again whilst knowing myself to be divided from Edward forever. Believe me, Marianne, had I not been bound to silence, I could have provided proof enough of a broken heart, even for you. I think it's astounding how Austen shares the beauty found in learning to see others in a new way, to try and imagine what they might be feeling and experiencing without projecting your own way of approaching life on them. In Greenberg's The Encyclopedia of Early Earth, compassion is also the victor in this tale comprised of many tales. While the encyclopedia is mostly illustrated, the theme is one that transcends the style of writing and drawing. In the story, a brother and sister break the rules set by their father, who just so happens to be God, to save someone's life. I've discussed examples of writing that deal with human character and empathy, but the last piece of writing I would like to discuss also does an incredible job of revealing love in all its forms. Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte tells of a girl with a far from idyllic upbringing. Despite numerous unfortunate circumstances she finds herself in, Jane chooses to hang on to important values such as patience and learns to love others despite the fact that she had every reason to be bitter. Life appears too short to be spent in nursing animosity or registering wrongs, she said. Bronte shows readers the many facets of life, and through Jane Eyre's love for both herself and others, reveals what is truly worthy of hanging on to in life, and that's love. My hope is that writing does this for you, shows you the beauty in the little things, the difficult and the unseen. Thanks so much.